In this video, I would like to work with two theories concerning geographical determinism in political institutions. Jared Diamond's theory discusses how geography determines the development of a society and its success. Then there's Acemoglu and Robinson's theory that discusses rather how man-made political and economic institutions determine the success and outcome of a society. I believe that together the two complement one another as to explain the development of a society. In this case, I would like to combine the two theories and reflect them on how they've come to shape the country of Cyprus. To fully understand the impact of these two theories, I want to begin by giving a brief background of Cyprus itself. In 1925, the Ottoman Empire held control over Cyprus, but ended up handing over control to the British, leaving it to become a British crown colony. Now, during this time, Cyprus was made up of 2/3 Greek Cypriots and 1/3 Turkish Cypriots. So once the British had taken control over Cyprus, the Greek Cypriots had gotten angry because they wanted union with Greece and began guerrilla war against British rule in 1955. Then in 1960, the British decided to grant independence to Cyprus, which pleased the people of Cyprus. Archbishop Makarios was elected president and they ran under the Treaty of Guarantee. This treaty was an agreement between the Republic of Cyprus, Greece, Turkey, Britain, and Northern Ireland. This was to initiate the guarantee of Cyprus's independence and to not promote the union of Cyprus with other states or partition of the island. In 1963, Makarios proposes changes to the constitution which scared the Turkish people, starting intercommunal violence to occur and pushing them to remove themselves from power sharing. In 1974, military junta in Greece backed up a coup against Makarios, and Turkish troops invaded the north, leaving Greek Cypriots to flee their home. This is where the split of Cyprus occurred in 1975, leaving Turkish Cypriots to occupy 1/3 of the island in the north and Greek Cypriots to occupy the southern half, enforcing a partition along the UN buffer zone known as the Green Line. Now that we have the overall background of Cyprus, I would like to apply the previous theory given by Jared Diamond on geographical determinism. Cyprus has its ups and downs when it comes to its geographical factors. They have a nice climate that works well with its native vegetation, and with it, it acts as a perfect getaway place for the summer holidays. However, Cyprus has suffered from deforestation, affecting the island's drainage system and making access to water difficult. Cyprus does have a good amount of rivers that arrive during the winter time, but unfortunately they go dry during the summer. After the split happened, the resources and geographical factors that Cyprus had as a whole was divided, therefore giving each side of Cyprus advantages and disadvantages within each own society due to which parts of the land they received after the split had occurred. The Republic of Cyprus in the south, containing the Greek Cypriots, were running their economy based on agriculture and trade with its large amount of vineyard located in the southern and western slopes. The south was also assisted by the UN and the World Bank, which helped their agriculture production double and their industrial production and exports of goods and services to more than triple. Due to them being able to industrialize themselves well, they were able to work with the less nice land that they were given due to the split and work with it to create a tourism area out of it. As for the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus with the Turkish Cypriots, they didn't really experience the same type of prosperity as the South did, as they were only supported and recognized by the Republic of Turkey. Due to how close they were to one another, Turkey acted as the only bridge connected them to the rest of the world. They also used the same currency as the Turkish, therefore linking their economic situation to Turkey's economy. With the split, though, the North did gain the nice beaches of Cyprus and were able to hold the seaside resorts, which of course helped to bring tourists in and help boost their economy. Later on, as the societies further developed themselves, they stopped progressing as much, and the Republic of Cyprus was no longer overpowering the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus with its prosperity. Its geographical factors alone were not enough to keep the Cyprus running by itself, and splitting up the country's resources only made matters worse. I would now like to apply the other theory I discussed earlier on political institutions and their important effect on societies. Concerning political institutions, there's two types: extractive and inclusive, which go hand in hand with the society's economic institution and whether or not it's extractive or inclusive itself. It's been said that inclusive societies are ones that will lead a society to succeed and grow. With this, the more inclusive a society actually poses to be, the more democratic it is, and the more democratic a society is, the less of a chance that society has at collapsing later on. In order for a society to be considered conclusive, it must have a rule of law, plurality, and essential institution that has control over its territory. It's important to know that they must have all three of these factors, or else it becomes extractive. If you look at this graph, you can see the differences between the Turkish and Greek Cypriots and just how democratic they really are. These societies can claim to be democratic, but not actually fully fulfill the factors that make up a true democratic society. Back to Cyprus's first president, Archbishop Makarios, he had a background of playing a leading role in supporting enosis, or union with Greece. This had placed an even further division between the Turkish and Greek Cypriots and put the Turkish Cypriots even more on edge when their votes were clearly outnumbered by the 2/3 of Greek Cypriots that made up Cyprus. When military junta in Greece backed up the coup against Makarios in 1974, Makarios fled the country. This shows the lack of control that Makarios held over the entirety of Cyprus. According to Acemoglu and Robinson's theory, Cyprus was doomed to collapse from the beginning. Effects from these extractive types of political institutions led to the split of Cyprus and its further decline of democracy. The increase of democracy of the Republic of Cyprus increased a slight sum more after the split than the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, because it is actually recognized internationally, and now that only the Greek Cypriots are being governed, they are able to be more controlled under their rule of law. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is diplomatically unrecognizable, influencing its ability to hold their own institution politically and economically. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is connected with Turkey and its economy, showing the lack of control that the North has over its own territory and how dependent and influenced it is by Turkey itself. Now, with Acemoglu and Robinson's theory, these institutions are highly dependent, but can be reversed if an event happens that can disrupt it, which can be an inclusive gain. In this case, there was the discovery of natural gas in the Aphrodite field. The people of Cyprus thought that this new finding could be what brings the two Turkish and Greek communities together, but unfortunately, due to the natural resource curse, the extra wealth only deepened disagreements in Cyprus and kept it on its extractive pathway from upholding a true democratic state.